Coverage presented by Asphalt Racing Network with a sponsorship from Decals Paint and Photoshop for all your iRacing paint needs. And of course, Young Hitter Collectibles for your live action auctions on whatnot. It is right time here for the right time. 213 is the right 213, excuse me. Course Truck Series is going to take on Nashville tonight. Drivers have had some practice already, hopefully throughout the week. And of course, if they ran the ARCA side of everything, they do have time already logged in those books here this week. Will it benefit? That is the biggest question of the night. Of course, drivers doing their lone qualifying now. Following DJ Norris on the track, finishing his time. Christopher DeWald slowing down now as well, winding down his qualifying times. Gary Crawford as well. Steven Jack. Jesse Singleton will join us tonight. David Callahan finishing his, clean throwback scheme. Of course, Mark Randall on the track tonight. Jeffrey Morton on the field. Marino. Pinola. Mark Morton here. '33 of Blake Sharrow. Dalton Gibson on the track, making the Truck Series debut. Of course, the 42 of Mickey Stewart. Mike Nitty on the track right now, getting his qualifying times done. Almost everybody done with qualifying, heading into warm-ups. Who will be able to make it out tonight is the biggest question. Of course, a lot of drivers have already had practice, like I was saying, from last night. And of course, closed practice sessions throughout the week. Last night, implementing a zero fast repair rule for the ARCA side. So some of the guys coming from the ARCA side now joining us here for the first race will be ready to go with no fast repair. Of course, the Truck Series being the premier series. These races generally run clean. Not too much you need to worry about, so I feel like it will be a really good race from start to finish. Of course, still accidents are going to happen, flags are going to happen. That is not something you can just kind of, surpass and not have to worry about.
I'm going to make this very fast now that we're into the warm-up zone.
Of course, warm up now for the drivers on the field. While they're going to warm up, we're going to throw it to a quick commercial break. And we will be back in just a few minutes before they grid.
matter what happens. Good day, be in victory lane.
The after-jets are won. Don't count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
What a victory this will be. Next flag is going to end. Does he have enough? Let's go! A dominant performance. They're going to say no, baby. Let's go!
You gotta earn this thing.
It is all on the table.
Of course, right now, drivers finishing their warm-up laps before we go green here at the Nashville Fairgrounds for the right 5 to 13. Of course, roll through our sponsors while we're here. Of course, right 5 for the race here tonight. Restart Zone by Veterans United Craft Breweries. Of course, replays sponsored by Young Hitter Collectibles. White Flag Lap presented by Decals Paint and Photoshop. And last but not least, the T. Elliot Right Time ARCA and Truck Series. Drivers shouldn't have much more time on the field right now. Now the session kicking over. We are moments away from our green flag here tonight to take lap 1. Of course, looking in your pole position. There we go. The number 1 of DJ Norris takes your pole position here tonight. Mark Morton lining up in second place with Christopher DeWald in third. Chad Bass in fourth. Mike Nitty Jr. rounding out your top 5. Just outside of the top 5 is Garrett Crawford in 6th place. Damon Dean in 7th. David Callahan in 8th. Mark Randall Jr. in 9th. And in 10th place, rounding out your top 10, is going to be Aaron Wright. Just outside of the top 10 is going to be Steven Jack in 11th. Ray Pinola in 12th on the outside. Inside in 13th is going to be Jesse Singleton. In 14th, Taylor Miner. Jeffrey Bourne and Mickey Stewart in 15th and 16th place. Then, of course, Nathan McGee in 17th. Dalton Gibson in 18th. Chad Leary in 19th with Marino in 20th. Rounding out your top 20 drivers outside of the top 20. 4 more cars here tonight. Kevin Alf in 21st. Jim Felix in 22nd. Brianna Laurent in 24th. With Blake Sherrow in 23rd. Rounding out your field here tonight. Pace car off now in the Veterans United Restart Zone. This will be our first green flag of the day. Green now out. The right 5 to 13 now underway. Already off to a good start is that 99 of Morton trying to fight Norris on the top side. Looks like he hit the wall there. Lost a lot of speed early on. One car of McGee in 13th. Already a big separation there. Jeffrey off the track. Looked like he got a little bit too tight, which broke his tires loose. Managed to save it, falls all the way back to 20th. Singleton in 9th place, spread out. Already a gap between 9th, 10th, and 11th of Randall, who has made his way up, fighting Nathan McGee now. Pinola takes that 10th spot and is holding the top 10 strong now at lap 3. Course 40 laps, stage 1 and 2 tonight. 160 laps to go, 213 miles. Top 3 already disconnected, pretty far from the pack. You can see it there, they are rolling. Zoom this blimp out, we can show you the entire field right there on the back stretch. Little itty bitty ants. But there's big gaps already. One lone car on pit road right now. That is the pace car. Everybody out on the field. Still a pretty far back ride to have to deal with right now. Early on, you're already seeing a big shakeup in the positioning. Now, of course, following the 6 car of Brianna Laurent. David Callahan through the grass there. Recovers it. No caution out. A little bit of that Monte Carlo 400 Jeff Gordon scheme on the truck there. Clean recovery for Callahan. Now teammate Mark Morton in the lead. Morton already having a good start to the season here. Trying to add on top of it. Morton was holding first place for a long time in the point standings. Now, unfortunately, finds himself in second, just about 20 points, 27 points away from Mike Nitti Jr. in first place. Nitti has only 1 win, Morton's 2. They both made 7 starts, but it is about the finishing positions within those races. Of course, Mike has almost 100 more miles on the track than Morton does, and that was due to a lot of his connectivity issues with his sim. Top 3 now broke up pretty strong. 4th, 5th, and 6th, Dean, Bass, and Nitti. Not too far away. Biggest question is who's going to fight long and who's going to drop off early. Following the 42 of Mickey Stewart right now, he is in some traffic. Playing the conservative game there, you see him not diving into those corners. He's really not throttling too excessively. He's trying to play it slow. He's trying to play it nice, smart, conserve those tires to where you actually need to take tires. You don't want to burn through your sets early. Could negatively impact you in the wrong way. And of course, with a limited amount of tire sets, you don't want that to happen. So you can see he is definitely playing the conservative game. Only 4 sets of tires ready to go in pit stalls. As all these teams are being allowed tonight. Of course, 75% fuel in the tanks. So it's going to be a little bit of a difference. You're going to see a lot of green flag runs is here. This is the Premier Series, and these guys normally are pretty clean with it. I mean, even the Eldora race went very smoothly. And that was a great race in and of itself. Now a lot of drivers trying to take that momentum and bring it, into this week. Christopher DeWald walked away with a win. The sweep, actually. Now that 67 Liberty U truck is sitting in second. He is behind some lap traffic right now. That is the 78 of Aaron Wright, who started off with an EOL. EOL was awarded from the last asphalt track. Of course, didn't get to serve it at Eldora, even though he was present with it being a dirt track. They let it go till we came back to a concrete or asphalt track. Now DeWald actually might have some help catching up to that 99 up front, as he's going to have some draft in front of him. It's not going to help so much in the corners, but it'll definitely help on the straights. Try to gather up some time. Right now he is disconnected by 0.8 of a second to Mark Morton, not too far back. He lost a 10th there, DeWald. Gotta wonder where he's going, what he's trying to do. I mean, four sets of tires, 160 laps. It's gonna be pretty strenuous. You're gonna have to milk these tires out as far as you possibly can, and I mean it is very possible here. But it's gonna slow you down. If someone is able to conserve just a little bit more than you can, it's going to put you in a bad situation when it comes down to green flag pit cycles, because you're going to be way off pace compared to what they can do for you. So might see a few shakeups during these green flag pit cycles. I mean, we normally always do. It's always pretty intense. Actively lap 16 now. Now, of course, drivers pretty spread out here early on. Show you a few different drivers and their times compared to the leaders. Mike Nitti running a 32.1 that time, faster than the leaders, 32.6 that lap. Driver's not too far off pace with Morton in the lead right now. We are going to get our first caution flag. We're going to see if we could source that wreck on the track. Yep, that's exactly where it was too. David Callahan got spun out there by the 9. Pretty close call for the 87 of Bourne. Morton, DeWald, Bass. Almost the entire field in this time. A lot of drivers still coming out now, too. Of course, sitting in first place right now is going to be Mark Morton and Blake Sharrow. Actually, I believe Blake stayed out, so Blake is technically in first place. Blake's going to take us back to green as the leader. Mark Morton in second, Bass in third, Nitty in fourth, Crawford rounding out your top 5. Going to go green this time in the Veterans United restart zone. Drivers ready to go. Sharrow on the top side in the 33. Here we go, back in the restart zone on that Napa truck on the top side. Green flag out. Guys behind jumped. Miscalculated the start there. Sharrow already falling down to third as Nitty takes the lead for Morton and Sharrow. Now Morton in second place, going to be having to fight that 64 back for the lead. These two drivers going to be neck and neck here. Another caution out in the backfield. Slight contact there. from the 5 of John Marino's, initially the 23. And the 67 truck. And that's Christopher DeWald. Lap 25 now, second caution out. Mike Nitti in the lead at this time. Good racing so far from these drivers. Not much has been lost. A lot has been gained here. Sherrill up in 6th to 7th place right now, up 15. Looks like he will be going in pits this time, so he'll come out with probably a fresh set. Maybe not, might just be some gas. Nitti up 4 positions from where he started. Morton still in 2nd place. Bass up 1, Singleton up 9. Gibson in your top 5 spot, up 13 positions. Dean up 1. Pinola up 4. Crawford down 1 in 7th. Excuse me, I forgot him. McGee up 8 positions, and Nuff in your top 10 spot, up 11. Little bit of a manufacturer mix in the top 10, primarily Chevys. 6 Chevys, 1 Toyota, 2 Rams, and 1 lone Ford up within the top 10 right now. Seems like Chevy's gonna, Dodge is gonna start outworking Toyotas and Fords now. Course paint lights are off, meaning we are back green this time. Will these drivers be able to manage it? We've already seen it, 2 spin-out wrecks with light damage. Obviously, that is a good thing for these drivers, as they don't have to sit in pits too long. Get a lot of damage taken off. Just a little body damage, and they're back out there a few minutes, if that. Pace car off this time. Mike Nitti taking us back to green in the Veterans United restart zone. Nitti with a good jump off the line there, puts himself out in the lead pretty fast. Of course, drivers catching up. 99 with a dive to the inside, trying to keep the good momentum. Singleton looks like he might be trying to make that pass. Morton goes up to the high side to block it. That's going to stifle the 51 a little bit there. He's going to have to regroup and try it again. Just behind is the 38 of Chad Bass, who's slowly losing. Singleton with a huge run and some clean air on the outside of Morton. They are side by side. 51 of Singleton just driving along, passing Morton like he was standing still. Now with 11 to go in stage 1. Singleton is after the 64 of Nitty. A lot of drivers choosing to go single file now. Spin out on the field. 38 at Chad Bash has had some minor issues. .51 of Singleton has taken the lead. Nitty in second place, now being passed by Moore. They're going to be racing side by side for second. Here comes Damon Dean in the 19. They are already almost a second disconnected from the 51 of Singleton. Still fighting for second right now. The 99 of Morton about to lose the position to the 19. 19 takes third. Morton falls down to fourth, still on the outside with McGee on the top end. Now he's kind of boxed in. Has room to dive down low there and doesn't hold the line, gets back in. Pinola in the 91 didn't make contact. Of course, 5 to go, fighting for second place. Damon Dean now up to second, passing Nitty. There's your leader, almost 2 seconds disconnected from second place. And now everybody wants a piece of Nitty with 4 left to go. McGee's going to make the pass on the outside. Good driving in stage 1. A lot of good maneuvers. Of course, a lot of patience too. Three more laps to go in stage 1. Singleton in the lead currently. 38 laps out of 160. Singleton has some company with the 42 of Mickey Stewart, but he is a lap down right now. Mickey is not in contention for a position right now. Of course, Mickey being the only one lap down, he will get his a lap back as he is 4 laps down. Two more laps to go. Damon Dean at 1.6 seconds back from our leader. Ram is 1 and 2 right now. Of course, Singleton entering 3 and 4 this time by no one else to give him that fight. '51 to Singleton, well in front of the competition. Now stage 1 over. These drivers will regroup and come back for stage 2.
Got a great car, great team. Go execute.
Time to turn the intensity up.
Fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day, be in victory lane.
The after-jet sure will. Don't count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
What a victory this will be. Next flag is going to end. Does he have enough? Let's go! A dominant performance. They're going to say no, baby. Let's go!
You gotta earn this thing.
It is all on the table.
We are back from commercial for the right 5 to 13. Right now, they are getting ready to go back green to start stage 2. Another 40 laps before we get to a long stage 3. 80 laps in total. Of course, Jesse Singleton Stage one still starts on your pole position right now as the leader. Number 1, Damon Dean in second, Pinola in third, Felix in fourth. And we are back green inside the Veterans United restart zone. Already with another good jump out here. Singleton is playing it calm and collected. Trying to make the timing on those tires work out for him here today. Like I mentioned earlier, tires are going to be the trickiest part of the night for these drivers. Only 4 sets of tires going into this race. That is a tough management decisions to make here tonight. How long do you stay on those tires? Do you wait till you start getting pushed further and further down? Do you wait until the car feels loose, or is that too late? And as of right now, drivers really going to be on P's and Q's for a while here. Don't let the camera take you through the field as these drivers battle it out for multiple positions on the track. Getting into a little bit of a traffic jam there. Looking back up to the lead now, Mark Morton has taken the lead back from Jesse Singleton and company. Singleton leading his pack now. And with that much of a fall off, there's going to be multiple lead changes. Course is going clean and green right now for a lot of drivers. I mean, anything can flip at the toss of a coin. Now, of course, Singleton sitting in 5th place. Mark Morton still in 1st right now. He is holding down the fort. Now, of course, Morton still hasn't been tracked down. He's got the lead by about 2 seconds right now. Now looking at second, Dalton Gibson. Not too far behind Mark Morton. Christopher DeWald in third with Chad Bass in fourth place. Rounding out your top 5 right now is going to be Aaron Wright. Looking at your leader well away from the crowd. You got to wonder, is he burning his tires trying to put a big gap on the field right now? DeWald sitting in second right now, not too far behind. It's a 3-car run. Tough, clean racing for a lot of drivers right now. Lap 19 in stage 2 already. Bass now in second. DeWald in third. Morton holding down the lead position by himself pretty strong. Aaron Wright sitting about fourth place. Mike Nitti Jr. right now rounding out your top 5. And of course, lap 21. Morton really doing his thing right now. He is 3.9 seconds ahead of Chad Bass, Christopher DeWald, Wright, Mike Nitti Jr., and David Callahan. Not too far off pace right now. Chad Bass, Callahan, Mark Morton, Wright, Nitti, DeWald. Not many have changed from Callahan up right now. 25 more laps to... I'm sorry. 25 laps in here for stage 2. Not many more to go as it is at 40. We are over the halfway mark for stage 1. Mark Morton kicking butt right now in the lead by over 4 seconds. Of course, looking forward to seeing how this is going to work. Will he have enough gas to make it to the end of the stage? 15 laps left to go before we tap on 80 laps for stage 3. Fourteen laps to go. Morton still holding it on pretty strong. Blake's sitting in about 30. Blake's sitting in about 16th right now in the 33. Brianna's still hanging around on the track right now. Number 6 car. Now Morton with 12 more laps to go in stage 2. It is getting down to the wire. Morton going for a stage win here pretty early on too. He was able to manage those tires, wear them out. Mark Morton, 10 laps to go. Currently in the lead right now. Nothing is going to stop that man there. Wright started in 10th, finds himself in P5 right now. Eight to go this time across the line for Morton. Like I said, Morton trying a fantastic effort right now to make it all the way back around, go into pits at the end of the stage, and win a stage off an insane strategy. Of course, not going to be replicated in stage 3. Of course, 7 more laps to go, 6 this time by the line. Fourth caution. Fourth caution out now, excuse me. Ooh. Tickle in my throat right now. Not good. We're back green in the restart zone. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Not good there. Morton taking stage 2. I think we are good now. Mike Nitti in second place right now with Callahan sitting in third. It has been a comfortable 2 stages up until this point so far. Of course, Aaron Wright holding your 4th spot. He started with an EOL a lap down. Now able to sit comfortably within the top 5. DJ Norris rounding out your top 5, and of course when they re-stack, gets a little bit better. Everybody's close. Everybody's fighting again. Everybody marching their way back to the lead. Drivers already kind of going single file here. Mark Morton running away in the lead again. Mike Nitti Jr. in second. Morton leading 58 laps. Nitti leading 8. Callahan not touching the lead yet. Of course, Aaron Wright not there either, nor is DJ Norris. He's only led 3. Norris sitting in 6th right now. Not too close to Morton, but also not too far away. Morton trying to get his lead on the points leaderboard back here tonight. You see him, he is out there in a world of his own by himself. Morton holding the lead down strong. Will he be able to take stage 3 for himself too? That is going to be the biggest question. A lot more racing left to go. We'll be back with more racing action on ARN.
Gasket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end? And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1. Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Got a great car, great team. We'll execute. Our time. We know what we got to do. Stay in the fight between the walls.
Time to turn the intensity up.
Fight till the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane.
Green flag is in the air. Driving with conviction. Side by side, hammer down. The after-checks are lit. Count out anybody who wants it the most.
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out. Wheel to wheels, they come to the line. Victory this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next flag is going to end it. Does he have enough? A dominant performance.
Gonna say no, baby. Let's go.
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody pushing as hard as they can get it. One final shot.
Gotta earn this thing. Right here to the end.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
We are back at lap 101 of 160 right now. Leader still currently Mark Morton. An incredible 71 laps Morton has led here tonight. Mike Nitti Jr., still holding down second place. Pretty strong. Only 22 out of 80 laps. The first quarter of stage 1. I'm really off right now. The first quarter of stage 3 officially in the books. Of course, Aaron Wright not making too much time up right now. He's been holding fourth place strong. It's been consistent. He hasn't really gained or lost right now, though. Now, these top 4 drivers really going to be battling it out here as Morton once again. He's already almost 2 seconds out in front of Mike Nitti in second place. Nitti going to try and hawk him down, making up a little bit of time there, losing it right back again. David Callahan in third now. And right down 2 positions now, moving down to 6th place. Dalton Gibson there with his first appearance in trucks. Of course, drivers doing a really good job here now. A lot of spread outness right now across the entire field. I mean, this is something we expected here. Of course, you saw it last night firsthand with the ARCA cars. Drivers getting spread out pretty quickly after these tires started to fall off. You can see who's the fastest of the field right now. Morton still holding with a sizable gap. 1.42 seconds for Mike Nitti Jr. on screen now. Now a lot of drivers entering and exiting pits. Nolf entered pits, Leary entered pits, Wright went in. Only 10 drivers on lead lap right now. Last person on lead lap is John Marino. Now, of course, looking through the field, DJ Norris sitting in about 4th right now. Jeffrey Bourne in 12th. Caution out, 5th caution out of the night. Seems to be coming from the 19 of Damon Dean. A little contact there with Dalton. Damon around. Of course, caution's going to be open this time. While we're doing that, we're going to take a word from our sponsors and affiliates.
Welcome to VMT Collectibles, your pit stop for premium collectibles. We specialize in authentic 118, 124, and 164 scale die-cast cars from top brands like NASCAR, NHRA,
Where's that
Hot
Bass Pro
Wheels,
at?
ERTL, GMP, and Auto World. From rare chase pieces to limited edition releases. But we are more than just diecast. Explore our curated section of retro video games, action figures, and hard-to-find collectibles that fuel nostalgia and passion. Live on Whatnot for heart-pounding bidding wars and instant deals. Can't make the stream? Be sure to follow us on Facebook for previews of upcoming shows at VMT Collectibles. Once again, that is VMT Collectibles.
Back. Green now in the Veterans United Restart Zone for Stage 3, lap 121 of 160. Mark Morton still in your lead. Christopher DeWald now all the way up to second place. Mike Nitti Jr. in third. Doug Gibson sitting in fourth right now. Looks to be trying to make a move on Nitti. So far, so good for these drivers here tonight. Looking at our race recap on the screen right now. 122 laps out of 160. Only 5 cautions for 15 laps. Only 4 lead changes. Obviously, Mark Morton is the head honcho on the field right now. "90 degrees Fahrenheit, 2-mile-per-hour winds, clear conditions with 76% humidity." That is some crazy weather at the track right now. Morton really holding it in all together at the right 5.213. No matter who has been behind him, who has been putting some pressure on him, he's been able to hold them off and keep this lead position going right now. A bit of the wall, not too far. He seems to be catching on these straightaways, going to be going for a pass sooner or later. Of course, right now, Morton in the lead still. DeWald not too far behind, but just cannot get anything to work right now. He keeps getting closer and closer and closer, but just cannot pass Morton for that lead. DeWald still in second place, losing a little bit of time now. We've been watching this fight on your screens. It's not too bad. DeWald actually holding his own now at lap 50, this time by just about 30 more laps to go. Would be lap 120, 129 now officially completed here tonight. 1 and 2 getting pretty close. Looking back to Mike Nitti right now. He's sitting in 6th place, just in front of David Callahan and just behind DJ Norris. Now we're seeing a fight with Callahan, Norris, and Nitti. Not too much right now. Going back to your leader, DeWald, really falling off pace right now. Right now, Gibson and Dean getting pretty close there for 3rd. Dean's going to go on the inside and pass Gibson. Gibson's still there. Now fully clear. Damon Dean controls 3rd place. Meanwhile, DeWald catching back up to Morton. He's going to try and do it again. Now, of course, seems like this is going to be the trend of the night. 1 and 2 going to be fighting. 3 and 4 going to be fighting as well. When they get around each other, of course, DeWald really needs to hone it in now. Of course, still a possible green flag lapse for caution, or excuse me, for pit cycles. If that's the case, then we'll see some big shakeups. Mark Morton holding on strong to the lead now. Lap 57 out of 80 in stage 3. Uh-oh. Seems like Mickey out of the race due to network issues. With lap 59, Mark Morton in the lead. Christopher DeWald trying to come up for possession. Lot of racing left to happen. We're going to be back after we hit another commercial break. For all of our premium subscribers, you will get picture-in-picture this time. We will see you guys in 3 minutes here for more action on ARN.
Experience the world's most legendary racing events with iRacing. iRacing special events allow any member to compete in full-length multiplayer races based on some of the biggest events in motorsports all year round. Compete in virtual endurance races, such as the Daytona 24, Spa 24, and the Nürburgring 24 Hours. Take on some of the toughest races on the NASCAR schedule, such as the Daytona 500. We have events from disciplines all across the racing world, from the Indianapolis 500 to the Chili Bowl, from the Bathurst 1000 to the Crandon Championship. Our endurance special events utilize iRacing's team feature, where members can sign up and race together on their own team, swapping drivers throughout the race. Other events utilize iRacing Super Sessions, where you're not only racing against those on track, but against every driver taking part. And as every race progresses, watch and feel the track change with progressive time of day, dynamic weather and rain, and dynamic track debris and surface changes. Take on your favorite discipline or try a brand new racing challenge with our biggest races of the year, the iRacing Special Events. Learn more at iracing.com/special-events.
$15 more laps to go here now. Pit cycles have changed up a lot. Dalton Gibson is now your leader with Nathan McGee. Sitting in second place, DJ Norris in third, Aaron Wright in fourth. Mike Nitti Jr. rounding out your top five. $12 more laps to go. Dalton in the lead right now, looking to get the first victory for him here tonight. He does have some competition not too far behind McGee. He's about almost a full second behind, 0.58 tenths right now. course, right now we are getting a few fights. Notably, only 10 drivers still on lead lap at this point in time with 10 more laps to go. Top 6 really kind of reeling in here now unless there's some lap traffic. Gibson in the lead. McGee in second. Norris in third. Wright in fourth, right in this time. Nine laps to go. Will this be the first victory here for Gibson? It's getting dicey. He's letting the 71 and off by. He's on fresher tires. Seven laps here at Nashville. To the right, 5-2-13. Six more laps to go now. Nathan, McGee, and Gibson getting really close there. Seemed like Gibson was going to lose his lead with not much left to go. Now, of course, 3 laps to go here. It has been really close to call right now. Drivers in pit cycles. DJ Norris takes the lead with 3 left. Dalton Gibson not too far back in second place. Will DJ Norris be able to secure the win? Is it going to Gibson? Mike's not too far back now as well. Maybe a 0.2 of a second. White flag out now, presented by Decals, Paint and Photoshop. 1 lap to go. It is DJ Norris out in the lead right now. Mike Nitti taking on the advantage on the fast side. Dalton going to be going up to give Mike the fight. Will he take it here? Doesn't get the run he wants. Is getting an insane run out of 3 and 4 going to the straightaway. He connects with the wall. There's going to be nothing nobody can do. Mike Nitti takes the win here tonight. Now, of course, man, you did get the pole here tonight. Unfortunate you weren't able to drive it back to victory lane in the same position. How did the track feel for you tonight, especially with some of the lap traffic at points at times?
I mean, this track's odd, man, because it is large and like you see the concrete, you think Bristol, Dover, but it just like on the exit, you just had to keep the momentum rolling through the center because if you got bogged down on the exit, you were losing like tenths at a time. So once we got lined out a little bit, I mean, I knew Mark was going to be fast, Dalton's fast, Mike, all those guys. So I just tried to kind of stay with their pace, stay attached a little bit, and save tires. I didn't think tire wear was going to be such a huge issue, but a lot of those guys would take off so early in a run and just come back to you so quick. But I was half a lap short, man, from getting the W. But it is what it is. Mike's a good guy. Glad he got it.
Now, I mean, four sets of tires for 180 laps. Coming into this probably was a little bit worrisome, knowing that you really didn't have anything to spare. How did that, kind of impede you
Well,
being
that
able to go full throttle at certain times?
well, that's what really got me off. Like the first one, I was just everybody pit, and I was like, okay, I know I have a little bit of damage here that I had to get fixed. So I went ahead and took a set. So I had to run the last 20 of the stage one and the entire stage two on the same set because I was concerned with being left out there with no set of tires, which I actually had one laying in the pits. The three guys that stretched it on fuel all had some, but um, I just thought I saw we took off on the last um, restart and I saw Mike saving hard. And I was like, okay, so I knew pitting on in that last run was not going to be uh, the answer if Mike was saving that early. So honestly, just tried to copy him, but he obviously did a little bit better job. He started saving sooner. I think I just should have done that. But overall, it's a good race, man. Fun track, clean racing. Um, yeah.
No, man. Trying to think of other questions here. I apologize. I'm all over the place right now on my phone and other different areas. You did have, like you said, another top three here tonight for you. Going on at this point in time in the season, I mean, we don't have much time left in the regular season. Of course, there's still a few races left before we touch the playoffs, but how are you feeling about not only your opportunities to get that win that you kind of need at this point in time, not really a mandatory situation, but of course that win would help. And I mean, being consecutive with top three finishes now, you're going to start giving yourself a boost. But, how are you feeling about your opportunities to get that win before the end of the season?
Man, it's going to be tough. This truck league is just stacked with fast guys. Not just fast, but like smart guys that have really good racecraft. So I think it's going to be tough. I mean, it seems like it's always going to be tough to get a W in this one, but I honestly think if I can start stacking the top fives together and just be consistent and not miss a race because I thought we had an off week, I mean, I feel pretty comfortable. I mean, I think I'm bringing speed every week. It's strategy calls for the most part, dumb strategy calls on my part that have kind of hindered me. Uh, so just honestly, just trying to learn the racecraft more and more for these longer races. Um, it's not like an official lobby race where you pit once or twice and really survive. It's like you got to put the all three stages together and just going to keep trying to do that the rest of the year, man. I think things will pan out pretty good for us. But yeah, man, it's been fun.
And of course, man, before we let you go, I want to ask you if you have any shout outs you'd like to give to anybody out there.
Shout out to my girl Beth. That's what she was watching tonight. And to my team, man, like Sandcastle, we've had some ups and downs. We've had some guys come and go, but we've got a pretty good squad right now of like different levels and having input from guys and girls that might see things a little bit differently, see a different line, breaking points, and all that. And having all that input has helped me just be more consistent, honestly. But yeah, that's my shout outs. Go Knowles. Racetrack this weekend, 5 Flags. We're running the Snowflake Series, so pro late models, and then crate racing USA late models at Southern Raceway down here in Northwest Florida. So if you're around, come check it out.
Well, of course, man. Congratulations to another top 5 finish on the season, 3rd place. Better than last, so still a good race for you after a little bit of what seemed to be a long race, but actually, in all, it was pretty short.
Yeah, was, man. Appreciate it, guys. You have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too. That was your 3rd place finisher of DJ Norris. Now going to a man that is brand new here. Top 3 finishes back to back. Seems to be on pace to make it happen. That is going to be the 17 of Dalton Gibson.
What's up, Tyler?
Well, you fulfilled that request, like you said last night. Hopefully, you're talking to me more, and 2 for 2. At certain points at the end there, after the last little bit of pit cycles came out, it really seemed like you were on pace to get that win. What kind of happened? Did you feel like the truck just fell off itself, or?
I mean, part of it was that I didn't really want to fight with DJ a little bit there just because of obviously fuel saving. I was short a lap with about 5 to go, so I was fuel saving as hard as possible. So even if that meant like letting him around me and then picking up if we got to 1 to go and I had my number, then I'd push it then. But obviously, I didn't think the Mike would get to us that fast. He said he'd been saving that entire run. But yeah, no, I feel like we played the strategy to a T, but just couldn't pull it out there.
I mean, pretty early tonight, it seemed like the pack really spread out. You saw who had the speed, who didn't have speed, and who was kind of burning through tires a little bit more. Was it kind of easy for you to notice early on here? I mean, of course, you just raced this track last night. The ARCA cars, trucks are different though. So did you kind of notice the difference from last night, and also the comparison in speed with others around you on the track pretty early?
Well, I will say that it took a minute. I tried to ease into the race, let the race come to me because I didn't have any practice whatsoever. I didn't even sign up until about 5 minutes till green, or 5 minutes till qualifying at least. So I came to this completely cold. I just wanted the race to come to me, and once we got those long green flag runs, I kind of figured out what the truck could do, what it couldn't do, and like you said, I feel like people were kind of jumping out at the starts, but I find myself reeling them back in probably about 15 laps into a run. So I mean, it's more so like races like this and how clean the competition is. I feel like that, we'll get those long green flag runs, and I feel like I can kind of get into a good rhythm and good pace.
I mean, of course, starting off mid-season, we've seen some crazy things happen from guys that have started off mid-season. Now, you could be putting yourself in that situation. Of course, running the same track back to back is a little grueling. Of course, even though they are different manufacturers and, of course, different different cars. It's still a little bit of a challenge. Do you feel like you actually putting some laps down last night with some of the competition around you that was here today, that it made a difference, or was it completely different scenario in the trucks?
Well, I got to give you a little bit of a hard time. We were at the fairgrounds last night.
Oh shit! Yeah, we were.
But I mean, to be fair, like the majority of these guys did run last night, and so like I actually got to see a lot more clean racing. I feel like than what we did last night, and that's props to having more room to run. And I would say that a lot of it was if people did get loose, with no fast repair, you were getting a little bit more grace. And so whenever people would slip, you'd oftentimes find yourself, seeing somebody make a good save. And, that's something that over race chat, people would give props to. But overall, I feel like the racing was fairly clean. I know I had my little incident with, believe it was Mr. Damon, and I do apologize about that because obviously at that point, I was hoping for green to the end, and I was saving even whenever he came by me, and just didn't get clear and kind of nosed into him. So I didn't mean to do that. Like obviously I was just trying to follow in behind him, but yeah, I mean with it being mid season, if I can stack some good finishes, I don't know, who knows. I just figure that being mid season, I don't think I qualify for points or anything as well.
And now, of course, now that we're done with the actual Nashville track, next week we go to Bristol, and then Richmond. So 2 more races before we start the playoffs here. How are you feeling, about odds of jumping in at a very pivotal time, not only for, a lot of the guys that are comfortably ready for the playoffs, but, with a lot of the guys that are still fighting for that spot, too?
I mean, is it a win and you're in format? I really don't know what I'm getting myself into.
I don't believe so. I could be wrong, though. I
I
haven't.
mean,
It's been so long since I've known format. I also do this 5 days a week, so everything just runs together.
that's fair. Yeah. I give it to you. You do a great job anyway. But I mean, who knows? I think that 2 of those tracks are probably 2 of my better tracks. So we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, I love Bristol. I've probably, if I haven't run Fairgrounds enough, I haven't run Bristol enough. I love Bristol as well. So should be a good track for me. And who knows? Might put my name in the hat if I'm allowed to. I don't know. I'm just here for fun.
Now, of course, man, before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your Thursday, before we're hopefully talking to you on Monday, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give to anybody?
Well, Tyler, I appreciate you again for putting on such a great broadcast. I actually got to watch it last night and a little bit this morning, and so it was really fun. I got some of the guys that I work with now at Woods Viking Barbershop sponsor my truck tonight watching. So, guys, appreciate y'all tuning in. Thanks to friends and family that are watching currently right now. Yeah, appreciate and all the admin teams putting in hard work and building this to what it is and allowing me to come in and have some fun.
Of course, appreciate you joining us over here on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and obviously, congratulations to you and your top 5, specifically second place, getting closer to that win. We just don't know which series it's going to be yet, but definitely hope we're talking to you again in a top 3 finishing position.
Sounds good, Tyler. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too. Of course, that was the number 17 of Don Gibson, finishing in second place after he started in the near back of the field in 18th. Means we have time for one more interview on the field here tonight. You guys already know who that's going to be. It is going to be the number 64, Mike Nitty.
Well, it's happening.
Feels like we haven't talked to you in a while, man.
No, sir. I haven't won in a while. It's since Coda.
So you have been getting comfortable top 5 finishes, though. You have been finishing up in the top of the pack. You have about 5 top 5, 6 top 10s right now. Of course, this being your second win. Of course, you already had that points lead over Morton right now. Now is definitely going to solidify you a lot further up in the situation as you finished 3 positions above Morton again. So now that points lead is going to kind of pull away a little bit now at a very pivotal point in the season. Only 2 races left in the regular season before we go to playoffs. How are you feeling about the season for yourself up to this point in time?
Great. I'm very happy with how things have been going, and tonight I got lucky with the fuel strategy working out, and there was no caution there at the end. Got some good tracks for me coming up. Bristol, maybe not so much, but Richmond, that's one of my better tracks. And then once we get in the playoffs, Martinsville, Pocono, probably Phoenix and Homestead. I'm pretty decent at those tracks too. So, um, I'm excited and very happy with how things have been going lately.
Now, of course, like you said, we haven't seen you in victory lane since Coda. It's been a while now. We're talking at least 5 weeks plus. How do you feel? You know, what kind of threw you off your game from Coda week 3 up until now?
I don't know necessarily if getting thrown off. I think some of the late race cautions have screwed me up. I guess I think it was Darlington, that race was clean, didn't have any issues at the end, just running around, lap cars trying to catch David. I was pretty much right on his bumper coming out of 4 on the last lap. IRP, no, I wasn't close there. Trying to think of the other one I was close at. Eldora was pretty good last week. I think I finished second there. Um, Man, there's one more. Atlanta. Atlanta was another one. That one, Tristan just happened to pull down right in front of me, and I didn't want to turn him on that last lap going into 3. So I've had some other close ones with some second place finishes, but finally got a chance to capitalize tonight, and it took some fuel strategy and some fuel saving for sure. So not on overall speed, although on that last stage. I feel like I was running Mark Morton down there at the end. I don't know if he was saving fuel or if his tires were giving up, but definitely was running. Looking at the relative, was running him down. So I think the speed's there. I just got to put everything to put the whole race together, I guess.
Now, of course, the week of Eldora, you did take that points lead away. Put yourself up 27. Of course, with the win here tonight, it's going to give you a big boost with 2 more weeks on the schedule for the regular season. What is really going to be your goal to kind of solidify that regular season championship for you?
Just good point stays, staying close to Mark. If I can be in a couple positions of him at Bristol and pretty close to him at Richmond, I'll be happy. And we'll go from there. But yeah, just making sure got good point stays and go from there. I don't know. Tristan didn't show up tonight, so I don't know. If he comes back, I don't know who's third in points right now, but or what that gap is. But I think just good point stays, staying close to Mark. And just being smart and making sure the truck comes home in one piece.
Of course, now, looking at tonight, like I said to the other 2, you were able to tell early on who had the raw speed, who was burning up too much tire and kind of who was conserving gas pretty early on. Uh, did you have to do any little tricks to actually make your truck feel a little bit better throughout the race? I mean, only 4 sets of tires. Really couldn't go in and get a set when you felt like you needed one. You kind of really had to wear your stuff down. So, how did that affect you on the track tonight?
Yeah, so in practice before the race, I ran almost an entire fuel run, and and just trying to be conservative. And I think the front tire or the right front got down to like 80%, which I felt was a decent number for running almost an entire fuel run. And then in the first stint, I don't remember if we had a caution or not, but whatever stage we didn't have the caution, or we pretty much ran the whole time. I think no, that was the second stage, and um, I think when I pit, going into the third stage, coming out, I ran out of gas going into my pit stall, which was an indicator I needed to start saving fuel there. But my front tire was only down to 78%. So I think my line was working. With the concrete tracks, I know you're not supposed to scrub really any of the tracks, but you don't want to scrub the front tires a whole lot on entry. You don't want to slide them up the track, and wear them out that way. I know a lot of the guys that were running ahead of me, that were faster at the beginning of the run, I felt like they were arcing it in a lot more than I was, and I was driving it in a lot flatter, which I felt like helped, in the long run. Um, but right out of the gate, once the green flag dropped, definitely didn't have the same pace, and I wasn't pushing to have the same pace. Just almost like a Darlington, just racing the track versus racing around everybody else. I did have the opportunity at one point. Charles was leading. He stayed out on tires, and I was behind him on the restart. And kind of he and I got a good restart together and jumped down in front of Mark on that restart. But once I started, my normal line, they kind of started eating me up and coming back around me. And then towards the end of that run, I passed them all back and wound up finishing second to Mark in that stage too. So, just trying to save the tires, not scrub and not slide them going in, just be consistent. Definitely ran the low line tonight. I got a lot of the guys arcing it in and running a little bit higher than I was. So, don't know if that really had anything to do with it or not, but that's my driving style, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, of course, Nashville, like you said, kind of unforgiving here, especially with tire wear and concrete. These tires and concrete normally don't mix too bad. I feel like we didn't have many solo cautions due to the tires, of course, just about lines and kind of just racing incidences. Now, did you feel at any point in time the lap traffic kind of held you up from getting, up there faster, or were you kind of just sitting behind them, using their draft, trying to save a little bit of gas as you went along?
I don't think the lap traffic held me up as much. But once the tire fall off for the guys that were ahead of me that were on the lead lap, um, once I started shooting to the bottom underneath them, running the low line and having to stay there and not being able to kind of run it back up the track, I definitely noticed the right front was getting warm, because there's a couple times Aaron and I were running really clean laps side by side for quite a while, and I started noticing the car sliding up off the corner and wanting to push. Really, at no point tonight did I really ever feel the rear end break loose. It was more tight condition than it was loose tonight for sure, which may have helped the single car or lack thereof wrecks. So, definitely a tighter track tonight, with the way it raced. But lap cars not so much. Just once the tires started falling off and the guys ahead of me, that I think was a battle trying to get past them all. And some of them just let you go. And Aaron raced me very clean, and that was a lot of fun too. So, he even came over the radio at one point and said, "Hey, we're having fun," and I couldn't agree with him more. So, and it was clean.
Now, of course, man, before we let you go, enjoy the rest of your night before the weekend hits in just about 24 hours. Do you have any shout-outs you'd like to give to anybody?
I do. One thing we haven't talked about though, I did get the right 5 win tonight. So
Oh, yeah, I
that was
forgot. This
exciting
is
for
a
me.
Ride 5 race.
Yep. So that's exciting. So that worked out pretty well for me. But yeah, as far as shout outs, definitely my wife. On the nights I race, or do race control, she puts the kids to bed, and um, so can't thank her enough for doing that and taking all that on, and letting me race and enjoy my hobby. So thanks to her, and obviously thank you guys and Jeff and everybody at Right Time and Aaron for putting this all together. And it's a fantastic product you guys have put together. So just glad to be a part of it.
Of course, man. Congratulations, not only on the win, but on that prize too. I did not pay attention to your banner earlier to realize you had that right 5 banner on. So it is a win-win situation for you, shall I say. Of course, good efforts to claim the second victory and kind of put yourself in a better situation as the points leader right now.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. That was your winner, Mike Nitty Jr., double winner as he won the right 5 pot here as well tonight. Now, of course, looking back on our leaderboard right now, Mike Nitty Jr. finishes in first place. Dalton Gibson sitting in second. Then in third is DJ Norris. Fourth will be Mark Morton. And rounding out your top 5 is going to be Christopher DeWald. One hell of a night for the drivers. Not bad of racing here at Nashville. Only 5 cautions for 15 laps. We had about 7 lead changes on the night. Pretty good numbers overall for a track like this. But of course, this is the Premier Series. These are always pretty good races. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, all good things have to come to an end, and our time here is finished for the night. You can always catch us tomorrow for the Elliot Trucks Series on Fridays, 8:45 for the green flag, Saturdays for the Gen 6 cars. Of course, Monday for American Stock Car Racing League, and then back here Wednesday and Thursday for the ARCA Series, and then the Truck Series for Right Time. On behalf of everybody at the Asphalt Racing Network and the Right Time Sim Racing League, we would like to thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us the entire way, or if you're watching this as a re-upload to YouTube, thank you for watching. Hopefully we will see you on another time. If we don't see you until next week here, we hope you have a good one. Of course, we're going to leave you on the white flag lap that let Mike Nitty Jr. take the win.